In today's video, we're excited to welcome back Jon Corkey, the president and founder of AMISA and digital innovator who created an Apple Watch app for individuals with dementia and their informal caregivers. Welcome back, Jon.
Hi, Julie.
So in our last video, we talked about your Apple Watch app for those with dementia and their informal caregivers, their family members and friends. Today, we want to look more behind the scenes at the process that digital innovators, such as yourself, might work through to get from idea to product. I'm pretty confident that most dementia caregivers, if not all of us, could provide a pretty long list of things that we could use help with, areas where technology and innovation could be pretty useful. But there's a lot more to the story than just finding a need and then coming up with a solution. So that's what this video is about. I understand that you went through a National Institute of Health funding agency to seek support in bringing your project to fruition. So can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Julie, so that is awesome. So NIH, National Institutes of Health, and the National Institutes on Aging have money available through something called the Small Business Innovative Research Program, or SBIR grants. These are non-dilutive funding opportunities, non-dilutive. So they give money for free, no equity taken in a company, to help them do R&D and figure out, ways to improve technology. And in our case, building solutions that will help caregivers. The process can be extremely long. I could talk to you for probably more than 2 hours and help other people and give them a lot of lessons learned. But essentially, we went through 4 proposals over 2 years, and they were very excited about our application, our proposal. And then the next 2 groups weren't excited at all. And then all of a sudden, we had a proposal that was in the top 10%. So it's extremely lengthy. It is one of those proposals that I had no idea what I was doing, and my success was based on the ability to reach out to a bunch of people that had done it before. I work at a university. My company is based at a university. I have no affiliation, but I walked to meet with professors who had done this before. So I relied heavily over 2 years to glean insights from other people's experiences, submitting a proposal, getting rejected, getting input, redrafting it, etc. So it is just it's a very difficult process, and there are tremendous resources at NIH. I forget the name of it. It's the Office of Small Business Research, I think. There's an office, I can share the link with you, but where people can see examples, see how other people write their proposals. So it's a very lengthy process, but at the end of the day, startups like myself, you can put in the effort and recoup a tremendous amount of money to seed your company and still own it. You don't have to go to venture capital and go meet with 50 or 100 venture capitalists and beg them for money. So great opportunity.
Awesome. That sounds like a really good route, especially as an innovator within the healthcare realm. So having gone through the grant application submission and then resubmission process, I think you said 4 different times, what did you learn and what specifically changed about your approach when going after those federal grants?
So I think the most important things to understand is that there are people who volunteer their time to read these proposals from businesses. The program that we were in, I imagine they have hundreds of proposals, and it's important to gain their attention and their interest in your project right away. My proposals were generally anywhere between 90 and 115 pages long, and people will tell you that have been on those teams that read these programs or read these proposals. They don't read all of them. They don't have time. So you get something called the specific aims page. It's 1 page, and that basically says, this is what we envision working on. This is our goal. This is our team. This is, how we're going to do it. We are the right people to do this because of our experiences. You have 1 page to fit all of that in there, and that can be very difficult. And you have to make sure that this is something that they believe that you can do in 1 year. Funding is generally tied to a timeline of about 1 year. So if this is a plan to build a space laser and that's going to take 5 years, they want no interest, and they shouldn't. So you have to make it feasible. You have to make it something that's going to benefit society, because at the end of the day, they're using tax dollars. So this has to be a good project that's going to benefit a wide population of people.
That's great. It sounds like that specific aims page is kind of like your Shark Tank pitch. You've just got that short space to get people invested in the full grant.
And I think the more important thing is you often get individuals who have no interest or no experience in what you're doing. So they could be reading a proposal about something that's completely unrelated to them. So you have to draft it in such a way that it sounds technical, but they can understand it. So we kind of often say, can your grandmother understand what your proposal is? So that's kind of how you're writing it, so that your family can understand, but it sounds technically risky as well.
That is such a difficult balance, but you're right. It's so important. You have to be able to communicate those ideas clearly, or else how can the reviewers make an informed decision about it? Mm-hmm. So thinking about your specific project, I understand with these small business innovation grants, like you said, it's kind of seeding your company. It's something that you want to continue beyond the purviews of this specific funding mechanism. So how do you envision this project being sustainable in the long term? What is the plan there?
So the beauty is there are different phases within SBIR. So phase 1 has a funding limit depending upon what you're doing. For us with Alzheimer's disease, the cap is roughly about $500,000 in phase 1. And then there are opportunities to get follow-on funding up to roughly $2.5 million. And then there are a bunch of administrative supplement awards. One of the efforts that we have with our company is to increase our team, the diversity of our team, to help bring on underrepresented individuals, researchers who want to do research in data science or computer science. And so being at a university, we can help fund that. And there are opportunities to do that as well. So that is one way to fund the company. But the more important thing is that getting that funding from NIH, or it's also available at the National Science Foundation, is you almost instantaneously validate what you're doing. And you get a certain amount of funding to de-risk, to build a prototype, to build something out, prove it, because eventually most businesses like our own, we will have to go get venture capital. And venture capital will say, this company got $500,000, $3 million, or whatever from the National Institutes of Health. Yeah, they're hustling and they've built a prototype, and they have customers or whatnot, and so they almost instantaneously become more viable.
Most of the content on our channel on Show Me the Science focuses on technology for aging, for dementia. So there may be future innovators watching with ideas of apps or other technologies that could be really useful for individuals with dementia or individuals interested in healthy aging. And that's something that we're really all very invested in. We want innovators to be successful. We want them to be able to produce assistive technology that will revolutionize what it means to age in place and to live well with dementia. So that said, what is one or maybe two pieces of strategic advice that you would give to the digital innovators of tomorrow who might consider following the path you took?
In addition to meeting with hundreds of people to understand their needs, I would strongly emphasize the iterative process. Find out what those individuals really need. Focus on one thing at a time. Don't boil the ocean. Don't try to solve all their problems. Find out the biggest problem that people are willing to pay for. If you're trying to sell a product, what are they willing to pay for? Or what are the couple of things that they need? And then build that, and then show them, and then fix it, improve it, make it better until you nail that down. Until people are like, I cannot live without this. I need this. And then figure out what's the next thing I have to do. Don't try to do all of the bells and whistles, and then put it in this perspective. How does it benefit the person? What benefit are you providing to them? Not a feature. What is the benefit? This helps reduce my worry. This gives me more time in the day to do X. This is a cheaper alternative, and it's a smarter alternative than something else that they're already using. So those are all benefits, not that, hey, they can see this and they can do that. Some people don't care about that. So by talking to people and doing that iterative, development, you'll find out that, you're building the right thing or you're not, and you're going to pivot and you're going to focus on a product that helps, your population or your customers.
I think that is the tendency, at least for me. I don't know if I can speak for others, but you get excited about one idea and you just want to run with it. So it can be really important to take a step back. And like you said earlier and in our last video, just spending time with the end users, spending time with those whose lives you're really trying to impact, and listening to them and getting their perspectives and allowing that to shape what you create. Wonderful advice, and I think it will be very helpful, or I hope it will be very helpful to any that may be watching who are interested in your own designs or your own technologies and finding a path forward in creating those solutions. So thank you for taking the time, Jon. I'm going to again put the contact for Amisa and any information that you would like to include, so that our viewers can connect with you and give you any feedback.
Sure, Julie. I would offer, I'm open, if somebody needs some help, I can make time to talk to entrepreneurs and people that are on this journey and share resources and such. So it's one of those things I have to give back, because a lot of people, provided time to me. So open door. If somebody wants help, please reach out.
Thank you so much, Jon. And we look forward to hopefully future interviews where we can give people updates on this work that you're doing. It's so important. I'm so excited and impatient to see it there towards the end when we reach market. Please like, follow, and subscribe.